The House. Republicans.
And an extraordinary story of a little girl, a stranger, and the gift of life. And danger at 39,000 feet. A jet plane over the ocean, out of fuel and power. How these hero pilots brought the plane down safe and sound.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Substituting tonight, Stone Phillips.
Good evening. One of the few footholds in this downward sliding economy is giving way. New numbers out today show consumer confidence crumbling faster than expected, dropping to its lowest level in 4 months. With layoffs mounting and economic growth at a near standstill, Americans are anxious, and that had an immediate impact today across the board. We begin our coverage tonight with NBC's Jim Avila.
The American shopper, charging and spending the national economy into prosperity, nearly single-handedly keeping the country from recession. Today, showing the first signs of real trouble. Consumer confidence in today's economy down a sharp 5.5%, the lowest level in 4.5 years.
It indicates that American households are very anxious about the job situation.
One major company after another laying off workers. The latest, Gateway, the San Diego computer manufacturer, today firing 15% of its domestic workforce, 2,100 people. Unemployment, the primary fear factor for consumers.
As consumers become increasingly more concerned about the job market, their income prospects, they're more likely to tighten up spending and save more.
How important are job numbers when it comes to consumer confidence? Experts say low interest rates and even tax rebates can't compete. Proof, say analysts, the 3 economic rescue attempts aimed directly at consumers so far failing. The Fed interest rate reductions, tax cuts, and tax rebates have not boosted confidence enough.
I like that color better.
The Smith family back to school shopping in Washington. The $600 tax rebate check paid for one child's gear, but not the other. Economic hard times triggering personal cutbacks.
I would say the adults are being more careful, and the children aren't quite as much aware.
Economists say the first sign of serious spending cuts may be in housing. Sales of existing homes down 3% in July, the lowest level in 7 months. Experts say job uncertainty makes buyers afraid of long-term commitments, even though mortgages are cheap. In Denver, nearly 40% more houses on the market than a year ago, driving prices down.
It's changing from the last 4 years of a strong seller's market into a very quickly changing into a buyer's market.
Bad news for the economy, good news for individuals confident their jobs are safe, like Mitch Delcow, who just bought a house $20,000 off the asking price.
Oh, it's night and day. I mean, compared to a year ago.
The other bright spot, confidence in today's economy low, but faith in a 6-month turnaround ranks high, as consumers signal they may not be finished fueling America's economy. Jim Avila, NBC News, Chicago.
The reaction to all this on Wall Street was negative. The Dow was down more than 160 points. The NASDAQ dropped more than 47 points, about 2.5%. Worried consumers, a slumping stock market, and the question tonight, is there any good news for investors? Joining me now with some answers, the host of CNBC's Business Center, Ron Insana, at the New York Stock Exchange. Ron?
Well, Stone, we're historically entering what has been a tough period for the stock market, so at the moment there may not be any immediate help for investors. If you look at the month of September, for instance, it is the worst month of the year for both the Dow and the S&P 500. They fall on average about 1% during the month, which, if you look at it over an annualized basis, would be a rather sharp 12% decline. In October, well, that's the worst month for the NASDAQ, which falls on average 0.6%. Again, it doesn't sound like much, but were it to happen every month, those would be big declines. The good news is that by the same token, important stock market bottoms tend to take place in the months of September and October. Witness 1987, 1997, and 1998. So there may be some good opportunities in the next 6 to 8 weeks for investors.
Ron, any sign that corporate profits will improve enough this year to turn the market around?
Not quite yet. It does appear that we were seeing worse news on the profit front than many had hoped. Already this year, 358 companies have announced that their third quarter profits would disappoint Wall Street investors. That is 5 times the number that we saw the same period a year ago. What Wall Street's worried about is that if the profit picture doesn't improve soon, that'll lead to even more layoffs and then possibly an outright recession. By the same token, by the time most recessions are recognized, you're usually at the bottom of an economic cycle, Stone.
Ron Insana, CNBC Business Center co-anchor. In Washington tonight, the Bush administration is calling the last 24 hours in the Middle East a dangerous turning point, the situation moving closer to all-out war. For the first time in nearly a year of fighting, Israel today seized Palestinian turf, reoccupying a town, and tonight refusing to leave. NBC's Martin Fletcher has more on the fierce fighting.
Only a half mile from where Christ was born, a raging gun battle today in the narrow alleyways. Palestinian gunmen trying to fight off Israeli tanks and paratroopers. The fighting broke out just after midnight when Israelis launched an assault on Beit Jala, a Palestinian town just outside of Bethlehem. Israel sending in armored personnel carriers, tanks, and elite troops.
Beit Jala has been converted into a virtual sniper's nest. This is a situation that's intolerable for Israel.
But what makes today's attack different? For the first time in this 11-month conflict, Israel seized and refuses to leave land it had given to the Palestinians under the Oslo peace accords. There are no Palestinians on the street. The town is under curfew. It's a new Israeli occupation of Beit Jala, and the only question is how long they'll stay this time. Palestinians called Israel's takeover a dangerous escalation that could lead to war. At the State Department today, a warning to Israel to pull out its troops.
The Israelis need to understand that incursions like this will not solve the security problems. They only make matters worse.
But all signs are the Israelis are digging in for a long time. Today, setting up camp in an orphanage. These Palestinian families have become virtual prisoners in their own home. The Israeli soldiers won't let them leave.
We don't have enough water also. We need pampers, we need milk, we need food for babies.
Just 10 miles away, pallbearers bore the coffin of Abu Ali Mustafa through the streets of Ramallah, the Palestinian leader assassinated yesterday by the Israelis. 2 years ago, when Mustafa returned from exile, he said he came back in order to resist. Today, the tens of thousands who marched behind his coffin vow to carry on his struggle. And late tonight, Palestinian militiamen called on Beit Jala residents to evacuate, clearing the area for what could become an urban war. Martin Fletcher, NBC News, Beit Jala, West Bank.
All of this poses a growing dilemma for the White House. NBC's Campbell Brown is with the president tonight in Crawford, Texas. Campbell?
Well, Stone, there's no question that the pressure on the Bush administration to step up its involvement in the region is intensifying. Both leaders in the Mideast and European leaders have criticized the president for not being more actively engaged. The president says his administration is engaged. At a news conference here on Friday, he restated the administration's position, saying it has put forth a plan, the Mitchell Plan, a framework for peace, but that first both sides must end the violence. The president saying on Friday, quote, "We continue to urge restraint with both parties. We are constantly in dialogue." That said, White House officials confirmed the last time the president spoke with one of the leaders from the region was with Israeli Prime Minister Sharon a week and a half ago. Secretary of State Colin Powell, who has been in closer contact with both sides, is now on vacation, and State Department officials confirmed the last time he spoke with Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat was more than 2 weeks ago. For the most part, the Bush administration leaving the mediating to U.S. officials in the region, with European leaders and Mideast leaders now calling on the president himself to play a more visible role. Stone?
Campbell Brown tonight. Up next, NBC News In Depth, Lifeline, a new high-tech way to help improve the accuracy of mammograms.
You know, it's just incredible to have that kind of technology that can pick things up so much earlier, because really early detection is everything.
A sophisticated computer giving doctors a helping hand in detecting breast cancer and saving lives. In Depth tonight. And later, a woman risks her own life to bring the gift of life to a little girl she doesn't even know. First, a nightly question. Approximately how many liver transplants were performed in the United States last year? The answer a little later.
Being first is never easy. Will I make it? Will I be laughed at? Will it be worth it?
Looking for a quiet moment? Get a quieter cookie. Soft, fruit chewy Fig Newtons. Time out from the everyday crunch.
Who'd you expect? Bob Dole?
Follow Mark Martin and the Viagra racing team this season.
Get to your doctor for a checkup and find out if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
And for more information right now, race over to Viagra.com.
Your eyes need nutrition as well as the rest of your body. So Centrum and Centrum Silver added lutein to help maintain your precious sight. Now your eyes, your toes, and everything in between are covered by Centrum and Centrum Silver. More complete from A to Zinc.
The Heartburn Hotel. If you suffer persistent heartburn 2 days a week or more, despite diet change and treatment, it may be acid reflux disease. Prescription Prevacid can mean 24-hour relief from acid reflux disease. Prevacid turns off tiny pumps that produce acid. It has a low occurrence of side effects, such as diarrhea, abdominal pain, and nausea. Ask your doctor if Prevacid is right for you.
So leave your heartburn behind.
Dateline Tuesday. How can you get what you want? We challenge 4 people in a game to hit the streets and test their powers of persuasion.
There's nothing I can't get.
See how they beg, bribe, lie, and plead just to get what they want. Who do you think will win? Log on and vote. An all-new interactive Dateline tonight on NBC.
NBC News In-Depth tonight, Lifeline, an important new high-tech weapon in the fight against breast cancer. It could help save thousands of lives. Breast cancer is the most commonly diagnosed kind of cancer for women in this country. More than 192,000 new cases will be detected this year alone. As NBC Chief Science Correspondent Robert Bazell tells us, new computer technology could become the new standard for helping catch breast tumors early.
Lisa Kelly got the shocking news that she had breast cancer at age 39. The one consolation? It was caught at a very early treatable stage, in part because her radiologist got a second opinion from a computer.
It's just incredible to have that kind of technology that can pick things up so much earlier. Because really early detection is everything.
The image checker system made by a company called R2 Technology scans a mammography x-ray looking for the suspicious areas of dense tissue. Experts say it could never replace the highly trained doctor, but it can serve as a critical backup. In fact, a study just published of more than 12,000 cases found the computer increased cancer detection by almost 20%.
Mammography is hard. The breast anatomy is very complicated, and there's no easy way.
The computer system won FDA approval in 1998, but only about 200 practices across the country use it. A big factor is price. The computer costs $250,000 and reads 30 mammograms a day. Medicare and some private insurance plans pay doctors $15 extra for each mammogram if they use the computer. But doctors say that does not cover the added costs. One problem, technicians must convert the mammography film into digital images. GE, NBC's parent company, plans to combine the computer software with a new machine that takes digital mammogram images, and that could make the process much simpler and more widely available. Meanwhile, if your doctor does not have the computer, what can you do?
I think there are other ways that a woman can get the same assurances, and that would be double reading by 2 mammographers.
But many predict that computer diagnosis will play an increasing role in breast cancer detection, ultimately saving thousands of lives a year. Robert Bazell, NBC News, New York.
What if you knew you could save someone's life, but it meant putting yourself at risk for a complete stranger? You're about to hear the story of one very generous woman who did just that for a little girl who desperately needed a new liver. But first, the answer to the nightly news question: approximately how many liver transplants were performed in the U.S. last year? The answer, B, approximately 5,000. Bob Fall continues our in-depth reporting with the story of an extraordinary personal gift.
Today, in St. Louis, a little girl lives because of the kindness of a stranger.
This is someone that has, out of the blue, said that I want to help save another human being's life.
That life, 11-year-old Lindsay Carter from Eureka, Missouri, desperately ill, dying with a failing liver.
My stomach aches have been hurting more lately, I've been noticing,
and sometimes they hurt like really, really bad.
Nationwide, 18,000 people like Lindsay are waiting for a new liver, which prompted 47-year-old nurse Ruth Parker to donate part of her liver, which regenerates, grows back in several months, donating it to anyone in need.
What greater gift could there be, or what, at least I would know that in my life, maybe I had some positive impact.
Ruth brought Lindsay a stuffed bear. The hospital gave Ruth Lindsay's photo. Though most liver recipients and donors are related, these two have never met. Liver transplants from an anonymous donor are rare, the procedure risky, but yesterday, in a grueling 8 hours, half of Ruth's liver was removed and given to the 5th grader.
Lindsay was lucky. Last year, 6,000 people died waiting for a new organ. Demand far exceeds supply, and the gap is widening.
Today, Ruth Parker, who works for an organ donor organization, said it was an honor, sacrificing part of her body for a stranger.
It's just incredible, like Christmas morning.
Afterwards, doctors said the transplant couldn't have gone better, thrilling Lindsay's parents.
We're hugely relieved and grateful to Ruth, and we can't wait to meet her.
Now the dreams of a little girl can come true.
I'll have more energy, and I'll be able to run faster and do, like, a lot of things.
Because a Good Samaritan first gave a teddy bear and then life. Bob Faw, NBC News, Washington.
Up next, 2 hero pilots tell an amazing survival story, how they somehow managed to bring a crippled plane full of people in for a safe landing against all odds.
The pain was awful. I was missing my own party. The pain got so bad I wanted to lie down, but it just got worse. Then I rediscovered a real lifesaver, Extra Strength Bayer Aspirin. Nothing's proven stronger than Extra Strength Bayer on tough pain, not even the leading prescription. It's real relief I can depend on. And my doctor said Original Strength Aspirin can help save your life by protecting your heart. Beautiful.
Bayer. Take it for pain, take it for life.
It's Applebee's Fiesta del Grill. Make your taste buds dance with tangy tequila lime chicken. Or for a limited time, the sizzling Southwest steak skillet. Only at Applebee's.
When I started having hot flashes and night sweats at menopause, my doctor recommended hormone replacement therapy, but I didn't listen.
Up to 20% of a woman's expected lifetime bone loss occurs in the years following menopause.
A year later, I went back to my doctor and found I'd shrunk an inch. I went on HRT, and I've been on it for years. My hot flashes and night sweats, gone. I feel great.
HRT is not for all women. Talk to your doctor about the benefits and risks.
The time to protect your future is now.
New faster acting Dawn with flash sets. It powers through tough grease at a speed no other brand can touch. New faster acting Dawn. Get grease out of your way sooner.
No can, no fork, no grill. It's the easiest way to a juicy grilled meal your cat can't resist. New from Whiskas.
I do enjoy the pleasures of the grill.
Yeah, I can see that. Whiskas, what cats want.
Thursday nights are chilly nights at Ladder Company 55. And when it's Wachowski's turn, it's a 5-alarmer. That means heartburn. And gas. These don't have the medicine to relieve both. But now there's new Gas X with Malox, combining the proven heartburn relief of Malox with the most powerful gas-fighting medicine around to relieve heartburn and gas fast. New Gas X with Malox beats the burn and the bloat fast.
Tomorrow, we reveal the last wedding detail, your choice for Jenny's hairstyle. Then, the final vote begins, their honeymoon destination, only on Today.
Business Center, weeknights 6 p.m. Eastern, only on CNBC.
Now a situation that could easily have turned into a disaster. 2 hero pilots are speaking out tonight about a desperate moment of crisis over the Atlantic Ocean. Their plane filled with passengers, their jet engines all suddenly dead. What happened next and the fact that these 2 pilots are alive to talk about it is being called an extraordinary feat. NBC's Robert Hager tonight.
The crew of that Air Transat Canadian charter, meeting with reporters for the first time today, describes what it's like far out over the lonely Atlantic, with both engines suddenly out of fuel. Captain Robert Pichet.
I mean, you start not to believe it. I mean, makes no sense that a big jet with 2 engines has no more power, with 300 people on board, you know.
Only hope for those 304 aboard, try to reach the tiny Azores Islands, but they're still 62 miles away. First Officer Dirk de Jager.
At approximately 32,000 feet, we lost the second engine, and from there was a no engine glide.
And nobody went, oops, in the cockpit?
Of course you go oops, but you only go oops for maybe a second, and then it's back to business.
No fuel, no engines, and almost no electricity. In back with passengers, flight attendant Melanie Tessick.
I received short but direct instructions from Captain Robert that we will be ditching, and he instructed me to do the PA and to prepare the passengers.
The engine's absolutely quiet, and frightened passengers quiet too.
Once seated, I can tell you that it was an extremely silent cabin. There wasn't a pin drop to be heard. There was absolutely no panic.
And then suddenly...
And it was the first officer telling us, giving us our brace, which is essentially our instructions to shout to the passengers how to prepare for bracing.
Pichet draws on every bit of what he's learned in 30 years of flying.
To make it to the big league like this, you got to have experience, you know.
And they reach the runway, landing hard, blowing almost all the tires, but safely on the ground.
Would you consider yourself a hero? No, just doing my job.
Still a mystery what went wrong. Not enough fuel or a leak? Investigators still don't know. What is known that the skilled crew got the plane down, saving the lives of all 304 on board. Robert Hager, NBC News, Washington.
Federal investigators tonight are calling for tougher standards in judging whether bus and truck drivers are fit to be behind the wheel. 22 members of a seniors club were killed when a bus driver with severe health problems passed out at the wheel on Mother's Day 1999 and drove off a New Orleans highway. The NTSB is now calling for a crackdown that would make it more difficult for drivers in poor health or with a history of drug problems to conceal their medical histories. Up next, she's 60, he's 70, and their lucky number is 41 million, that is. The latest Powerball winners in their own words. Next.
I have type 2 diabetes.
And I will always take care of myself.
I stick to my regimen. I had to make that commitment to diet and exercise.
But diet and exercise weren't enough.
So my doctor added Avandia to help control my blood sugar.
Unlike some diabetes medications, Avandia helps my body use the natural insulin it already makes.
Avandia has helped keep my blood sugar down for about a year now.
Avandia in combination with insulin may increase the risk of serious heart problems. Because of this, talk to your doctor before using Avandia and insulin together. Avandia may cause fluid retention or swelling, which could lead to or worsen heart failure. Avandia is not for everyone. If you have severe heart failure or active liver disease, Avandia is not recommended. Some people may experience weight gain with Avandia. To check for serious liver problems, blood tests should be conducted before and during Avandia therapy.
This commitment is for me, but it's also for my family.
Eat right, exercise, and if that's not enough, ask your doctor about Avandia.
So it may always be stronger than diabetes.
Tired of struggling down glass after glass of powdered fiber for regularity? Consider refreshing glasses of water with FiberCon tablets, a whole lot easier to take.
And every bit as effective as powder.
FiberCon, refreshingly easier to take.
Nature made it. Minwax makes it beautiful with rich wood stains and long-lasting protective finishes. Turning a house into a beautiful home is as easy as turning to Minwax.
When your eyes feel dry, gritty, irritated, protect them with Refresh brand eye drops. First, Refresh relieves dryness. Then Refresh forms a lasting shield of protection that keeps irritation out and moisture in. Refresh. It relieves and protects.
How was your dinner, eh? Oh, heartburn. I've got just what you need.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief. Faster than Pepcid AC or even the leading prescription. Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief.
You are a superhero to someone. So act like one and take a premium vitamin. Mega Men multivitamins. exclusively from General Nutrition Centers, with 39 premium ingredients for men, including things like saw palmetto, ginseng, and natural vitamin E. It's a formula no one else has, so it's more than just a multivitamin. Take care of yourself, superhero. Someone's watching you. GNC. Live well.
MSNBC Thursday at 10. A new Headliners and Legends. A child star tells his story. Macaulay Culkin on a new Headliners and Legends. Thursday at 10 on MSNBC.
How to survive the market's historically troubled fall season. Join Ron and Sama and Sue Herrera tomorrow on CNBC Business Center at 6 p.m. Eastern.
In a quiet little town in Maine, two more of America's happiest lottery winners made their first public appearance today. Patricia and Irwin Wales told reporters exactly what they were doing when they realized they had the winning number in Saturday's $295 million Powerball drawing, and about what they're calling the wonderful pandemonium they've been going through since. Their share in a lump sum, $41 million before taxes. Here they are in their own words.
My husband had gone to bed around 10 o'clock, and I said, you're not going to stay up to watch the numbers? And, nah, you can do it, because we're not going to win anyway. So I stayed up, and
21 is tonight's Powerball.
and I found one that had 21 on the Powerball, so my heart kind of picked up a little bit. And then I started looking at the rest of the numbers, and there was an 8, there was a 17, there was a 22, 42, 47, and I just like shaking and started crying and went in and tried to wake him up. And I said, Irwin, I think we've won Powerball. And he says, yup, and turns over and goes back to sleep. And so I went out and I thought, well, maybe I've made a mistake. You know, maybe I wrote the numbers down wrong or something. So I checked the numbers again. This time and I said, Irwin, get out of bed. We've just won Powerball, and I mean it. Irwin wants a new truck, which I think will happen fairly soon.
I'm going to get a GMC shot bed with all the toys. Black, I hope.
I don't think we've comprehended what's happened. It's just mind-boggling. We're still Pat and Irwin, the same people we were before we won all this, and just hope that all of our friends and neighbors will just look at us as Pat and Irwin have got a little bit more money now.
Pat and Irwin Wales also revealed that when they realized their ticket was indeed a winner, they hid it in a box of cereal. Talk about a prize inside. That's Nightly News for this Tuesday. I hope you'll join me later tonight for Dateline at 10, 9 Central. I'm Stone Phillips. Good night.
Nightly News is a presentation of NBC News. More Americans watch NBC News than any other news organization in the world.
On my way down there, my heart was beating. I was thinking, oh man, I didn't want to. I was kind of scared to see like someone not make it.
The plane that crashed and erupted into a ball of fire. Believe it or not, the pilot just walked away. We'll have a live report next. Plus, the salmon just keep coming on the Columbia River. It's a banner year. Find out what's so different about the 2001 run. And a popular camping area is opening back up after a wildfire shut it down. But there are strict rules for outdoor lovers. The news at 6 starts now.
From KGW, where the news comes first. This is Northwest News Channel 8 at 6.
Hello, I'm Tracy Berry.
And I'm Laurel Porter. In for Joe Donlin tonight. Our top story, a small plane crashes, then explodes. It happened northwest of Battleground near the Goheen Airport. Those who saw the crash can't believe the pilot survived. News Channel 8's John Flick is live at the airport with the story. John?
Yeah, Laurel, the pilot of that plane is Charles Stanger of Yacold, Washington. And at first, right after the crash, it appeared that he was okay, that he walked away with just a cut on his forehead. But